Hey, Cesc and Jules here at Coffee and Talk, and today we're talking about rating system.
Today we're having coffee at the Padel Club.
Yeah, with a little bit of gossip.
I like it. So now one of the main issues that we have here in the United States is now, how do you rate yourself? I mean, we have so many different ratings right now. We started with PlayByPoint. Now everybody's moving to Playtomic. And now we also have the Red Padel, and formerly Red Padel, now it's the World Padel Rating. So what is your level? How is your level defined? You know what I mean? We know that Playtomic goes back, starting in 2017 in Europe. They have over 6,000 clubs. So the rating is based on matches play. The algorithm, the way it works is the more you play, the rating goes up.
And your consistency.
And consistency, obviously.
And the thing is, ratings are all over the place. All over the place, depending on country, state. It's kind of hectic. And if you play competitive or not. Because if you don't play competitive, then you're not going to be on some of the rating systems, right? So there's also rating systems where the coach rates you, like at a club. So there's so many different rating systems. Nothing's like concrete. Nothing's a standard right now. So we're going to talk about all of that. So let's talk about the first one that's, I believe, started to do the matches and rating system was Playtomic, as
Correct.
I remember. And then came out PlayByPoint.
Playtomic was in Europe. Was in
They
Europe.
were here too at the beginning, but not all the way. I think they came in here, they did a couple clubs, and they weren't really ready yet for the U.S. market.
But now, the big daddy Playtomic has landed in the United States. Now they're super strong. They're spreading like wildfire to all over the clubs. So the way that their rating is based on matches played, which I think is gonna give some consistency on the rating level. Playtomic in the past, it was just the coach thinks that you're a 1.5, 3.5, 7.0.
Well, let's talk about that.
Yes,
because that was the standard. Well, that was popular for a little bit. PlayByPoint, they had their own system. They had the ability where coaches can rate, the players, and each club really the clubs needed that because they had clinics and they had to really separate all the players, right? So that was developed. People started using that, and that became kind of like the standard for a little while. It was, I think, inaccurate. I'm sure you were involved in that a lot. So people were doing different things. The coaches had a different standard.
I think what happens
clubs.
is Playtomic tried to copy the way Playtomic was in a certain way, but they were not able to develop the rating system yet on play matches and things like that. So they went to each coach rates their own student.
Yeah.
And now you create that homogeneous group that you think that you think they're playing at the same level. The problem with that is that, let's say I have 4 students of mine now, I think they're all 3.5 level, and then they go to a different club, and now
they say I think they're a 4.0 level.
Yeah, there's 4.0. So
consistency.
Yeah, there is no consistency. So the issue was that the rating was all over the place. But let's go back 3 steps back. The rating we're talking about, Playtomic and PlayByPoint, the rate goes from 1, complete beginner, to 7, professional. So and it usually goes 1.0, 1.5, 2.0, 2.5, 3, 4.0, and so on. So
the biggest problem comes in, and I'm sure you can agree with, is from like that 3 to 4, that intermediate section, where I believe most of the clubs or coaches had different opinions on that. Yeah. And that's where it was difficult. I mean, if you try to play a game and put something up in WhatsApp or put it in PlayByPoint, and you get somebody that says, "Hey, I'm at this level," and they get in, they're not at that level, right? I mean, or they're too good.
There was not a specific, there was not a specific rule or description or bullet points saying, okay, for a 3.0, you have to do this, and that. Actually, Playtomic, and I'm going to read it, a 3.0 is a player who begins to play in addition to flat shots, also with spin, serve and response become more consistent. The technique of the volley is satisfactory and manages to play with more confident bounces against the wall. That will be sort of like the ballpark description of a 3.0.
So the other problem too is that, you know, a lot of coaches, if a player's coming and taking lessons and they're coaching them now for, let's say, 2 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, a year, and let's just say this player is just not a racket sports player. It's just not. They should probably pick out a different sport, and he's not improving.
Well, you have
what pressure as a coach do you have to say, okay, yeah, I'm going to put you up at this level because they want to continue with them as a coach?
Okay, so if you had a student for a whole year and he's not playing better paddle, you suck as a coach.
Well,
you should change your profession.
Well, you had a what do you call it, a player like that.
Who?
One time when I went to win with him, and you told me this guy has never got better in like years and years. So it happens to every coach. It's not like you have better.
Yeah, but I don't agree. I mean, you as a coach, you should be able to teach him up to a certain level how to play the sport. Everybody has different skills, but they have to understand how to play the sport. And I can tell you hundreds of different cases where they really went at it and they practiced. But if you don't have good coaching, that's a different subject. That's a different coffee and talk. I mean, coaching is crucial.
I think what I'm trying to say is that the coaches will feel a little pressured to start putting the rate up because they feel like a little obligated. You know, if you have somebody coming in and you know, paying to be coached 2-3 times a week for, let's say, for a month.
Well, but
there's that pressure, and some people will be okay, and some coaches, will be strict about it. So that's inconsistency.
But that's the issue with the rating system when you let just one specific coach give you a rating.
Right.
So that's why I think the match playing is much more accurate, because now basically what do we do as a coach? Our role is to teach you how to play a game. The game is paddle. So that's it. You're playing games. So you want to take a lesson and then get out there and play a match and win or lose.
So let's get to the other couple parts of inconsistency. The other one is going to be politics, right? Like if you have a friend that is a coach, he might help you out and kind of say, okay, let me put your score up. So that's a third inconsistency, a third issue, you know. And
yes, but what I'm saying is now moving to Playtomic, that consistency goes away because now the coach cannot change your rating. It's based on matches.
Well, that's if you're competitive. Some people are not competitive. Some people don't play and that's in Playtomic. That's if you choose to upload it. You don't have to. It's
no, you don't have to. Yeah,
so, but I mean, if you're not putting it in there, you're not using that part.
Okay, but how are you going to improve your rating if you don't play matches?
No, I'm just saying that people don't do it. They didn't do it in PlayByPoint. Playtomic, I'm not sure. I'm in Playtomic. Some people they do it. Some people don't.
But in PlayByPoint, it wasn't really developed. Look, I mean, in
Playtomic, every time I win, they never accept to do it.
Okay, but
and every time
but remember, I think it's after 48 hours or 72 hours, whoever uploads, even though if the other ones don't approve it, it just goes through. It gets approved automatically. So, and I asked that question to Pablo.
Well, somebody has to put up the score too.
No, let's say you won a match. You put your score. If the players that you play with, that they lost against you, they don't agree with it, and they don't do anything, automatically your score is a win after 72 hours.
Right.
I don't know if it's 36 or 72 hours.
That's a good option. But the other part is if nobody puts in the score at all.
Well, that's going to be part of Playtomic to start educating everyone. And I think the coaches too, because at the end of the day, if you want to have the same rating level of players in your clinic, they're going to have to be playing more matches. And I think that balance is going to be very, very good.
Well, the thing is, that's Playtomic now. But we're going through the beginnings of it and why there's inconsistency and what's out there. So, PlayByPoint was doing the coaches thing. That was big for a while, for at least a year.
Well, because there was no other option.
Right.
So, I mean, before Playtomic, I mean, it was just the Wild Wild West. Everybody thinks they're better than they are, then they go to the advance. Now PlayByPoint came. Now the coach got the option to manage that level, so we can have a much more homogeneous clinics at similar level. Now with Playtomic, I think it's 1 or 2 steps up, where now they're obligated to play matches for them to improve the rating, and be able to join that clinic. So let's say you want to join an advanced clinic, but if you are playing with only low intermediate players, you will never reach to that level. So you have to be playing more and more for you. And Pablo, from the CEO from Playtomic said, you need to play at least 10 matches for that number to start, for that rating to start being more accurate. And I think it's gonna be. But going back to what you're saying, people have to be educated, and every time they play a match, you have to upload the score.
Yeah.
So you get that rating go up. You know what I mean?
I think that's. I think for me, I think that's the best way. I mean, prior when I went to Europe and I played, everybody used it.
Yeah.
Here, I don't know. I just don't see people uploading that. And when PlayByPoint started to create that same type of logic.
Yeah, but it was
and nobody.
Yeah, but it was a whole mess. Let me tell you that I was there on the beta part, and it was messy.
Yeah.
It was messy. I mean, they used ultras as the first club. It was all over the place. People got frustrated and all that. One thing that Playtomic is listening and learning, that they're transferring all the rating players from PlayByPoint to Playtomic. So if you're a 4.0, now you move to Playtomic and you're going to be a 4.0. And from there, now if you play matches and you start losing, your rating will drop or it will go up if you start winning. So I think that's a good starting point where all the thousands that we have probably, with all the clubs, 30,000 people rated.
The other issue is going to be is that, not all clubs use Playtomic. So you're going to have that, the rating, let's just say in one state, everybody uses PlayByPoint. So that's one rating still.
Yes.
And then let's just say here, 75% use PlayByPoint, 25% Playtomic. So you have that inconsistency again.
But no, you mean in Europe? I've been in Europe. I mean, they have the same thing. You have Matchy, you have in Europe, you have PlayByPoint. So I think
they're very similar when it comes to the rating thing.
I mean, look, it's going to be interesting what's going to happen in the next 6 months or so. But now let's add the other caveat to all this.
Yeah, it's another
is the Red Padel, formerly known as Red Padel, the World Padel Rating. Now, if you play USPA tournament, now your rating from Playtomic disappears. It doesn't count, even though you can be a 7.0 in Playtomic. You got to start from zero.
So let's talk about that. So they joined with USPA.
They enjoyed.
I think Red Padel at the beginning started this rating system and these tournaments, but they weren't getting traction again of people inputting the data in. Right, that's the only way you're going to get a rating system. So they teamed up with USPA, which USPA has a huge database of all players because you have to register there to compete, and they're obligating people to download the app and put the information. So now they're getting data in there, and this is more for people who compete.
USPA tournaments, Red Padel tournaments.
Right. So this is kind of like people who want to compete. This should be pretty accurate.
Yeah, but now the whole mess goes back to the same thing. Now they have 3 or 4 divisions in each tournament. They have D1, D2, D3, D4. Mm-hmm. So now, but let's talk about the rating. The rating, Playtomic and PlayByPoint, they go from 1 through 7. 1 beginner, 7 is professional. Now, World Padel Rating, it goes from 1 to 21.
Right.
So I am 13.85. What does that mean? That's interesting to know.
And you never even played a USPA game.
No, I never. But I played twice, I think. And I hear. Let me just tell you what it is. The World Padel Rating from 0 to 21. 0 to 4 is new players still learning the game. 0 to 8 intermediate players, solid consistency and teamwork. 9 to 12 advanced players, good tactical understanding and execution. 13 to 16, high-level amateurs, regional tournament players.
Oh, no, you're definitely not a 13-something. You're definitely below 12.
Yeah, and you're between 5 and 8. Intermediate players, solid consistency.
The other level of 1 to 7.
Yeah, and needs to lose some weight.
And you too, my friend.
So, and then 17 to 19, top national competitors, and 20 to 21, professional international elite. So all the advanced will be in between 9 and 21. So if you're,
So this is
14.8, you're like, I don't know. It's going to be all over the place.
This is new.
Yeah.
But I believe that when it comes to competition, USPA is what we have here in the USA. That's going to be the standard there.
Yeah.
So now, if you don't compete, you play, just recreational, or you're playing, you're going to have both play-by-point and Playtomic.
Yes.
And I think Playtomic's going to be a little bit more accurate, of course, as long as you're putting the data in.
And I think now their system about the matchmaking, they have one of the great things is that the matchmaking option they have,
Sure.
the open match option they have,
Yeah.
I think is great because you're constantly putting, and you can put the matches as an official match, as they have like 2 different levels or 3 different levels, which it gives you a different algorithm. But I think every match counts on your rating, going up or going down, and I think. It's going to be exciting for all the players. You know what I mean? To put up your score and you can tease each other and you can text each other and message each other within the app. I think it's great.
I think the thing is that we still don't have a universal rating system yet. It's new. Padel is new here in the USA, so we're just they're just tweaking out these rating systems and I'm hoping, and I'm sure of it, in the near future, it's going to be more accurate, because this is going to mean that when you go and ask, hey, we're looking for a 4 or 4.5 or 5 level player, you're going to get somebody who is that. Because the worst thing that happens is, you're missing a player and you're asking for this level. That person shows up and he's not really that level.
It will be interesting.
Kind of messes up the game.
It will be interesting now what happens with all these players. They got their rating transfer and they're not really at the 3.5 for the 4.0s. Now they're going to start playing matches and their rating is going to go down. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be, now it's not, I need to talk to my coach. Oh, my coach, please.
Right.
Actually,
it takes it out of the coach's
I got a
hands.
message yesterday. I got a message yesterday saying, this lady plays within the clinics and her husband wants to join the clinics. Oh, my husband, it's great. He should be a 3.0, 3.5, please. So he can join the clinics and all that. I mean, it's like, there is a lot of that, you know what I mean, where the coaches can twitch the ratings. But now with this, it's going to be much more fair with everybody.
And you always have people coming in from tennis, and saying my tennis rating is this, and they believe it's the same one. I definitely think it takes it out of the coach's hands, which is good. And it's based on your performance, which is great.
No, and I think it's going to be beneficial for the coach because the student, the rating is
pressure.
Well, the student rating is getting lower and lower, so they need to take more lessons and they need to improve for them to play more matches and really get better at it, because now it depends of you winning and losing, and that's the way it should be always be. Because we the bottom line, we're teaching a game and we want you to go and play matches and be better.
Right. All right, guys, thanks for joining us for Coffee and Talk, and we hope you can adjust and get your ratings where it should be.
Yes. And we got Avi here, a Babolat player, as one of the few,
Oh, he came real quick. That was fast. He was waiting for that.
That was fast, baby. He wants to be in the podcast for sure.